So one thing that has come up that some of our customers like to do is they like to test out different things in their graph to see if one way of doing things and one way of structuring their graph is more effective than a different way. And if you want to capture metrics and test out whether one or two paths works better for your situation, you may want to do some A/B testing. So one thing that we can actually do within LeanData, if you want to set that up, let's say we have a scenario here where you have new leads come in, they hit a match node, and they either get routed to the matched account or they get sent to an SDR round robin. Now, what you want to test is whether or not you get better follow-up times if you send notification A versus if you send notification B. And you just want to capture the metrics on that. So here's what you can do. You can actually make two flows within the same graph here. So what I'm going to do is I am going to grab these and copy them. And I am going to go ahead and paste these three exact nodes to the side here. So now we have an exact copy. And what we want to do is split evenly, without any sort of bias, half of my records to one of these paths and another to the other half. So I'm going to rearrange these. And then one set is going to get notification B, and the other set is going to get notification A. So I will send these here and send these to notification B. That is the only difference currently between these two paths that I just created. Now, what I need to do is I need a way to, in an unbiased fashion, send half my leads to this path and the other half to this path. And I don't want to influence the results in any way by picking any sort of lead source and or introduce any sort of alphabetical thing. So we just want an even split based on really no criteria at all. We just want an even split. So what we can do is actually leverage a round robin for this. So what I'm going to do is pull in a round robin node. Okay. And in this round robin, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assign the record to one of two users. Which user actually doesn't matter. We just need a way to distinguish and differentiate records that are supposed to go through path A and records that are supposed to go through path B. So I just need to make an assignment using the round robin functionality. So let's go ahead and do that. I will go ahead and jump over to a different tab, and I'm going to create a round robin pool. And I'm going to name this pool something like A/B testing pool, just a standard pool. I don't need to worry about any working hours. And I'm going to add 2 members to this pool. Let's go ahead and save this first. It's going to be for leads. Okay, and once that's saved, I will jump over to members, add members, and which 2 members actually doesn't really matter. So I'm just going to pick the first 2 here, Susie and Lorraine. Add users, select next up. We'll start with Susie and hit done. And then I will hit save pool. Okay, once that pool is saved, I'm going to jump back over to my graph here. I'm going to have all new records enter this round robin pool. And this round robin pool, I need to find the pool that I just created, and that's the A/B testing pool. And I'll just do this round robin A/B. Okay. And I will open up the next node here. Okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to also do is add a branch node, or you can use a true false, either one, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to do a branch just to make it a little bit more explicit. And I'm going to add this decision point here. So all records that go through that round robin A/B will end up in this branch node. And I will basically set 2 conditions here. The first one is going to check to see if the owner of the record let's do name equals Susie admin. Okay. And I'm going to check if the other one is going to be owner. We'll do name equals Lorraine Barnes. And then I'm just going to label this one path A, and I'm going to label this one path B. And then this is going to be A / B, and that's good. So I'm simply going to have the records that were sent to Susie go down path A, and the records that were assigned to Lorraine go down path B. And that's the way to evenly split records between these two paths so that you can check on the effectiveness of notification A versus B, and that'll be the only difference between these two. Now you might be wondering, well, I don't actually want to assign these records to either Susie or Lorraine, so isn't that what's going on in this node here? And yes, it is, except that later on in this graph, you actually are making another assignment. You're changing the lead owner again. So only this last assignment is going to be saved. So this first assignment is essentially going to get overwritten by the time that it reaches these other assignment nodes. So you don't need to worry about your records finally being assigned to either Lorraine or Susie, but they will get assigned according to your process here. The first assignment here is simply to split them between these two paths. Now, if you don't want to mess with your lead owner field and you would prefer to use a different field, you can feel free to go ahead and create another user field on your object and then just do a round robin for that field instead. So you don't even have to touch the owner field. So just to recap what we're doing here, a new record comes in. We're using a round robin to split it between two different owners. Depending on which owner has the record, we will split it down one of two paths, and that will affect which records get sent notification A versus notification B. And the record will get assigned to the correct person before it reaches that point, so you don't need to worry about the assignment here, but if you need to use a different user field, you can absolutely do that as well. Well, hopefully that helps if you're looking to do some A/B testing with your LeanData graph.